You have experience in this business going back a long way. You're a skydiver of many years standing, are you?
I actually have 37 years of experience. I've been skydiving for a long time and got about 6,000 jumps myself right now.
Which makes me think, once you learn to skydive, it must really get into the blood.
Yeah, I think so. But you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere. It's always scary when you go up the first time, or probably the 10th time. But eventually, you start to enjoy it.
Are you already skydiving solo?
I've made one so far, so looking forward to more on this trip. Yeah.
The safety aspect of this kind of sport is so important. Is it really well covered?
Yes, I think so. You have to be specific, so the shoes have to be packed by the professional people, and then it has to be checked by myself, by my coach, at least 2 or 3 times, even before you board the plane. And then usually we run through a quick check before we exit the plane as well. Yeah. So yeah, and when we first started, there's a radio communication, so that it can help me land, so I run into any problems. Yeah.
So you feel quite secure?
Yep, I do. Yeah.
Very secure?
Yeah, I do, and I'm a doctor, so yeah. So yes, no worries about that, yeah. Yeah.
Wayne, a flyer of many years standing, the safety aspect always important.
One of the things that you've got to realize about skydiving is safety is actually paramount, and it starts right with our airplane itself. We keep it in tip-top shape. Our equipment is rigidly inspected. The procedures that we teach people is very specific, because even though this is a very safe sport, believe it or not, there are things that can happen, just like in any aspect of life. And the main focal point we have is, if this happens to you, do you know what to do and how to respond correctly? Like I said, there's probably millions of jumps made a year, and sometimes things happen. So this is where safety, like I say, for us becomes paramount, in the fact that we need to know that anybody involved in the sport and participating with us knows what to do, not have to sit there and pull out a checklist, say, for instance. You don't have time, you know.
What is it about skydiving, then, that really gets them in, makes them want to do it from the beginning?
Well, if you look at any list of 50 things to do before you die, tandem skydiving is always in everybody's number 8 or number 9. It's always in the list. It's one of the ones you've got to tick off. I mean, there's this movie, The Bucket List, where they make a list of 50 things they need to do, and it's in there as well.
So it's just in the blood of a good many people.
I just think it's one of the few adrenaline sports that has just remained over the years. We used to do the old-fashioned round parachuting, where everybody came for the weekend and did training and then sat around waiting for the wind to drop. But nowadays, I think you have an instant gratification society. They want to turn up, jump, get the certificate, buy the video, take the T-shirt and go home.
It's a bit breezy here today. Is the weather good in this area for skydiving?
Generally, the weather is good 365 days a year. Obviously, in the rainy season, you get a couple of hours rain, but then it all dries up, the clouds go away. And yeah, right now I'd say it's probably a little bit windy for students, but for tandems and experienced jumpers, this would be fine.
When you mention tandem, that literally is 2 people, 1 learner presumably, going down with an experienced skydiver.
It's an experienced instructor who has a very large parachute, and the student, the client, basically wears a harness, is strapped onto the front of the instructor, so the instructor is in control of the whole skydive, deals with the free fall, but it's a way that somebody can come along as a novice, experience free fall on their first ever jump, and do it in a perfectly safe environment, where if anything happens, the instructor deals with everything. It's also backed up by an automatic activation device, so if the instructor was knocked unconscious at a certain height, the parachute would open automatically. So it's probably the safest form of skydiving available.
So as soon as they go up, you're over here at the drop zone.
Exactly, I'm doing the drop zone control at the moment, which means I talk to the pilot with the radio, I check the winds, I check the wind direction, which is shown by this arrow, and just make sure it's all safe to jump, make sure there's no aircraft around or anything like that.
Yes. So Graham, what is the reading you're getting there?
I've got 9.1 knots at the moment, which is perfectly safe. We have a maximum of 15 knots for students at the moment.
We seem to have a mixture of people up in the plane this time, some quite experienced, it would seem.
Some people have hundreds of jumps, some have, well, let's see, we've got a student right now with 7 jumps, I think, to his name.
Is it possible to make a career of this, and are you planning on doing so?
I am doing exactly that. I've studied I've taken a diploma in commercial skydiving with the New Zealand Skydiving School, and I'm now attempting to make a career out of it, believe it or not.
Okay, so at this point, do you sort of keep a visual check on the skies to see if the aircraft is coming in, or are you going to rely on that communication?
The pilot will give me a 2-minute call, so 2 minutes before the guys jump out, we'll know about it.
Yeah.
And I check around, check the skies for other aircraft. If there's nothing there, I say, okay, clear to drop, and jumpers away.
The parachutes themselves are in various sizes.
Yep, that depends on the size of the jumper and also their level of experience. The smaller parachutes are a lot more responsive, fly a lot faster, and therefore are a lot more fun but a lot more dangerous. So,
what do you personally favour if you're skydiving?
I'm on a 150 square foot, which is, for my size, quite a conservative parachute. It's not too slow, not too fast. It's about right.
So we'll see them drop in the next few minutes then, if they've just been in touch with you.
Absolutely, yeah. They'll be jumping in about 2 minutes. They'll then fall for a minute, and in about 3 minutes we should see parachutes opening up in the skies.
And what can they see from up there? Can they see all of the detail here?
Absolutely everything.
Here we are in Siracha area, just near Pattaya. Sea level here, isn't it?
Sea level, absolutely, 30 feet above sea level. And if you fly around the area, you'll notice there's a lot of water.
Which is a great attraction, but I think this will be a great attraction too. Just another one of the many attractions of Pattaya and the surrounding area.
Well, we've only been open since November, but the thing we're finding is that we're already getting bookings from Italy, France. We have people coming from Korea. We've had 2 large Swiss groups that have just booked to come in February, March, and we believe that it's just going to get busier and busier. Also, we think that a lot of people are going to, once they realise we're here, are going to book up and come and make tandem skydives with us. And the thing that's amazed me is the number of people who have come along to do the training course to become qualified skydivers in the first 2 months we've been here.
Yeah. So worldwide, it's not a huge community, so they know what's going on everywhere.
Oh, most skydiving in any country is a small community. I believe in the UK there's 4,000 or 5,000 qualified skydivers. So they would know to Google skydiving or to go on Yahoo and find the website wherever. But for people off the street, then it's a different thing. I think we're coming up number 4 or number 5 on Google and Yahoo at the moment. I would imagine with a bit more work we'll come up number 1 because we hope to be the number 1 skydiving centre in Asia.
Yeah. The website is
www.thaiskyadventures.com, or you can always phone us on 085 900 3412.
And it is an adventure, isn't it?
It's an adventure, and they used to do a t-shirt back in about 1985 which said why, and on the back it said "'cause it's fun." And it is.
It's a new attraction for Pattaya, skydiving at neighbouring Siracha.
Stay tuned. You're watching Destination Thailand.
Now I remember coming here about 10 years ago, and well, I wasn't very good then. Well, I'm still not very good now, but obviously these guys behind me have gotten a hell of a lot of practice, as they're pretty awesome. Now I'm here with Kun Kuson. Sawadee krab.
Sawadee krab.
He's the head honcho at this place, and he's been running it for about 10 years after setting up the one in Bangkok a further 5 years ago. So there's lots of people coming down here.